So Maha-Satipatthana Sutta, Dhamma Nupassana. You are contemplating the four foundations of mindfulness. Kaya Nupassana, contemplation of the body. Vedana Nupassana, contemplations of feelings. Citta Nupassana, contemplations of consciousness. Now you contemplate the fourth foundation of mindfulness, that is contemplations of the Dhammas. So the contemplation of the body is the contemplation of the physical or material body. That is kaya, physical, material. And contemplations of feeling is the contemplation of what is the mental experience of physical sensation, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, that is Vedana. And contemplations of consciousness is also contemplations of mental things, mental factors, or mental states. Now, contemplations of the Dhamma is the contemplations of material as well as mental things. So Dhamma is just psychophysical phenomena. Dhamma is phenomena. Material as well as mental. So the first contemplation is contemplations of kaya, material aggregates, meditation on the aggregates of corporeality. And during the second contemplation, contemplations of feeling, you meditate the aggregates of feeling. And the third is contemplations of the aggregates of consciousness, citta. The fourth contemplation is the contemplation of the Dhamma, that is on the aggregates of mental formation. The word Dhammas is left untranslated. Dhamma you not translate, just Dhamma, because it is difficult to find English words that covers the full meaning of the word Dhammas. So the word Dhammas is usually translated mental objects. If you translate like this, it is neither accurate nor concise, because the objects of meditation mentioned in this session belong to both group, the mental as well as the material group. So when mental objects mean the objects of the mind, then the body is also an object of the mind, and the feeling and consciousness are also objects of the mind. So when the objects of the mind means objects that are mental, then you have also material things among these objects of contemplation. So it is better to leave the word Dhamma untranslated and try to understand what Dhamma means in this sutta. So this section discusses the 5 hindrances, nivarana, and 5 objects of clinging, Upadana Khanda, and 6 internal and 6 external sense bases, Ayatana, and the 7 factors of enlightenment, Vujjinga, and the 4 noble truths, Sitcha. So the 5 mental hindrances are mental. The 5 objects of clinging are material and mental. And the 6 internal and 6 external sense bases are material and mental. The 7 factors of enlightenment are mental, and the 4 noble truths consist of both material and mental things. So there is Dhammanupassana, you are contemplating. You are contemplating all 4 foundations of mindfulness. 2 months you become skillful to practice. It is your territory, it is your domain. Now you are contemplating on the Dhamma. The first Dhammanupassana is 5 hindrances. Whatever you are doing, you will find that you have some kinds of obstacle, some kinds of hindrances to overcome. Hindrances are negative factors of meditation. Hindrances hinder or obstructs the gaining of your concentration. With regard to the hindrances, Buddha said 5 hindrances. Kamechanda Nivarana, sense desire. Pyabara Nivarana, ill will. Tinameda Nivarana, sloth and double. Odija Gogoja, restlessness and remorse. Vichikeja, doubt. So Buddha said 5 hindrances. Can you follow me to understand? Kamechanda Nivarana, Pyabada Nivarana, Tinameda Nivarana, Odija, Kokoja Nivarana, Vichikeja Nivarana. Sense desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and remorse, doubt. So 5 hindrances you are contemplating. So regarding this, Buddha said, here in bhikkhus, a bhikkhu dwells contemplating the Dhamma in the Dhammas, in the 5 hindrances. How shall we understand that a bhikkhu dwells on the contemplation of the Dhamma in the Dhamma, in the 5 hindrances? What are the 5 hindrances? And Buddha said, Ita bhikkhu bhikkhu santam va ijjatam kamichandam. Atime ijjatam kamichandau dipajanati. Asantam va ijjatam kamichandam. Natime ijjatam kamichandau dipajanati. Bhikkhus herein, when sense desire is present in him, a bhikkhu knows there is sense desire in me. When sense desire is absent in him, he knows there is no sense desire in me. He also knows the reason by which the arising of non-arisen sense desire comes to be. He also knows the reason why the abandoning of arisen sense desire comes to be, and he also knows the reason by which non-arising of the abandoned sense desire in the future comes to be. So regarding the hindrances, Buddha said this. So with these words, Buddha instructs us how to deal with sense desire. Kamicchanda Nivarana, sense desire is the first of our mental hindrances. Kamicchanda, sense desire means desire for sensual object. Desire, attachment, craving, longing, thirst, lust. These are sense desire. It means the desire for visible object, desire for audible objects, desire for smell, odors, taste, tangible and mental objects. That means desire for money, properties, husband, wife, families, various kinds of things. These are sensual objects. Desire for anything is called sense desire. When sense desire is present in practitioner, you know there is sense desire in me. When during meditation you have thoughts of desire, thoughts of lust or craving or thoughts of attachment, then you should be aware of the presence of sense desire in you. You will know that there is sense desire present in you. So you mentally note desire, 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 attachment, 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 or craving, craving, craving. You are contemplating the Dhamma in the Dhamma. Santam wa ijjatam kamiccandan. Present means that something exists because it occurs repeatedly. Good thoughts or bad thoughts, wholesome or unwholesome, wholesome thoughts and unwholesome thoughts cannot coexist. These thoughts are not really present at the moment you come to know them, because these thoughts cannot coexist with the knowing of them. But these thoughts arise in you again and again. They are said to be existence. At the moment of observing them, at the moment of observing the mental hindrances, at the moment of observing the hindrances, they are already gone. They last maybe a fraction of a second. Santam wa ijatam. Santan. Present means something that has occurred that very moment. You have to recognize what is present, existence, or occurs repeatedly. When a desire is present, you know there is such and such desire in me. And when such desire is absent in you, you know there is no sense desire in me. Asantan, absent, means two things. First, it means not existing because it does not occur, or it has been abandoned. Second, absent means it is absent because simply because it does not arise, or it first arises in you, then you observe it, and then it disappears. When it disappears, it will be absent. Sometimes you notice the absence of desire, it just does not arise in you. Sometimes meditators feel desire and you take note of this desire, then it disappears and you notice the disappearance of sense desire in me. So whatever is the case, you must be mindful of the absence of sense desire when it is absent. And Buddha said, Yatacha anupanasa kamichandasa upadahoti tinja pajanati. That means he also knows the reason by which the arising of non-arisen sense desire comes to be. There are causes of the arising of good thoughts or of bad thoughts. Generally speaking, there are two kinds of what we call reflection, manasikara. We call them attitude or viewing. They are wise reflection, ayoniso manasikara, and wise reflection, yoniso manasikara. Unwise reflection lead to unwholesome thoughts, and wise reflection leads to wholesome thoughts. What is ayoniso manasikara? What is unwise reflection? Unwise reflection means inexpedient reflection. Reflection on the wrong track, so we call them wrong reflection. They are the kinds of reflection that take the impermanent to be permanent, taking the unsatisfactory to be satisfactory, taking the soulless to have a soul, taking the ugly to be beautiful. So when you take things to be permanent, satisfactory, substantial, beautiful, something to be attached to, then you have this kinds of unwise reflection. Ayoniso manasikara. So you need to understand, you need to remember ayoniso manasikara, unwise reflection. Taking the impermanent to be permanent, unsatisfactory to be satisfactory, soulless to have a soul, and the ugly to be beautiful. It is unwise reflection. Can you follow me? Taking the impermanent to be permanent, the unsatisfactory to be satisfactory, the soulless to have a soul, the ugly to be beautiful, is unwise reflection. Again, taking the impermanent to be permanent, the unsatisfactory to be satisfactory, the soulless to have a soul, the ugly to be beautiful, is ayoniso-manasikara, unwise reflection. So when you take these namarupa, mind and matter, to be permanent, satisfactory, substantial, beautiful, something to be attached to, then you have these kinds of ayoniso-manasikara, unwise reflection. These reflections are unwise because they cause unwholesome thoughts to arise. So unwise reflection are the general cause of the arising of unwholesome thoughts. And yoniso-manasikara. Reflection of the opposite kinds are yoniso-manasikara, wise reflection. Wise reflection are expedient reflection, reflection that are on the right track. These are the kinds of reflection that take the impermanent to be impermanent, the unsatisfactory to be unsatisfactory, soullessness to be without soul, the ugly not to be beautiful, and the undesired to be undesirable. So it is yoniso-manasikara, wise reflection. So need to remember, can you follow me? Taking the impermanent to be impermanent, the unsatisfactory to be unsatisfactory, soullessness to be without soul, the ugly not to be beautiful, and the undesired to be undesirable, is yoniso-manasikara, wise reflection. So this is the correct way of viewing namarupa, viewing things. Buddha said that everything is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and insubstantial. Sabbe sankhara, anicca, dukkha, anatta. You are not to be attached to anything. When you see things in this way, you are said to have this kinds of wise reflection. That is a right and correct reflection, or there is the right view of things. Sense desire arises in you because you have unwise reflection. There are objects that are conditioned for sensuality, conditioned for sense desire to arise. You see things that you consider to be beautiful. You see Namarupa that you think are desirable, and then you develop a kind of attachment to all these things and experience a sort of craving. This craving or attachment arises because you have a wrong attitude. You reflect incorrectly on these things. So when sense desire arises in meditators, you may notice that this desire arises in me because I'm reflecting unwisely. So you have viewed the objects of sensual desire in the wrong way, in the way that made you think they are lasting, they are satisfying, they are substantial, and they are beautiful. In meditation, you can notice this and become aware of it because I have unwise reflection. This sense desire arises in me. And Buddha continue, Yatacha upanasa kamichandasa bahana hodi tinja bhajanati. He also knows the reason why the abandoning of the arisen sense desire comes to be. The abandoning of sense desire can be achieved in two ways. That is, by observing it and by cultivating wise reflection on the object as having the nature of foulness. Meditators may attain jhana contemplating on the concept of foulness. Buddha said, this body is not desirable, not beautiful, and not auspicious. Wise reflection on this object can cause the abandonment of sense desire, or when practitioners have reached jhana, depending on or taking the concept of foulness as the object of meditation, you may be able to get rid of sense desire. In Vipassana meditation, just by being mindful, this sense desire is removed, this sense desire is abandoned. When you are aware of its absence, you know the cause of the disappearance of this sense desire. Because I have this wise reflection, the correct attitude or correct view towards this object, the sense desire will disappear. Sometimes meditators notice the cause of the disappearance of sense desire. Then you also know why this abandoned sense desire won't arise again in the future. That means when meditators become arahant, the sense desire was abandoned, we never return to you. So meditators know the reason by which non-arising of the abundance and desire comes to be. You know that by attainment of mega, jeta, path consciousness, by reason of path consciousness, the sense desire that has been abandoned will never return. By attaining path consciousness, sense desire is completely eradicated. This means when you attain arahathood, it pertains to the attainment state, the attainment of path consciousness, the attainment of sainthood. So when meditator have sense desire, you have come to know why sense desire arises. And you know why sense desire disappear, and you know why sense desire is abandoned momentarily or temporarily. What can you do when sense desire arises? You make sense desire the object of your meditation. You dwell on it. The bhikkhu dwells contemplating the Dhamma. In the Dhamma, you dwell on this. You take note of this desire. Just by being noted, the desire will disappear. And the commentators pointed out 6 things meditators can do to abandon sense desire. They can be done when practitioners are out of vipassana meditation. First, meditator can take up meditation on the foulness of the body, looking at a corpse or dwelling on the 32 parts of the body, hairs of the body, nail, teeth, skin, etc. You dwelling on the 32 parts of the body. So practitioners learn these kinds of meditation, and then your practice will help you to abandon sense desire. And the second way is the practice of meditation on foulness, so that you reach the jhana stage. When you reach the jhana stage, you will be able to abandon sense desire. And the third way is controlling the faculties of the senses. That means you control your senses, you control your eyes, sensitivity, ear sensitivity, nose sensitivity, tongue sensitivity, etc., so that no unwholesome thoughts can arise in you through one of the six sense doors. Yogi control very well, eye control, ear control, etc., all are restrained, and desire cannot come in. And the fourth way is practicing moderation with respect to food. Eating moderately will help to abandon sense desire. When we eat too much, we will have more sense desire. We will also have more desire for food. So meditators are trained not to eat all the food on the table when eating. So meditators should leave 4 or 5 lamps uneaten. In Asia, monks eat with their hands, and one handful is called a lamp. When monks come close to finishing the food in front of them, they should not eat everything and should leave 4 or 5 lamps uneaten. They drink water instead. So that means when eating, monks should not fill their stomach to the rim. They leave room for water. There is enough for the comfort of monks who have set their mind towards reaching Nibbana, cessation of all suffering. So it is enough for the comfort of anybody whose mind is set towards reaching the state of Nibbana, liberation from all suffering. So this piece of advice tells us how to eat comfortably. Moderation in food means just eating and avoiding filling our stomach to the rim. And the fifth way is having a good friend. It is really a Kalyanamitta, a friend, family on the path, or as you say in the West, a spiritual friend, Kalyanamitta. To have a good friend is very essential. When you have a good friend, you can have a good advice. You can learn from your friends and take him or her as an example. So a good friend who has no sense desire can help meditators to abandon sense desire. During the retreat, you can meet a lot of good friends. Meditators practice very well, and we can learn from all these meditators as an example. Energetically and diligently practice, so inspiring. So good friend, good environments are very essential. And the sixth way is practicing suitable talk. To abandon sense desire, meditators should talk about the foulness of the body. They should talk about the bad results of attachment and so on. So these 6 things lead to the abandonment of sense desire. So after Kamechanda, Vyavara Nivarana, Tinameda, Otija Gogoja, and Vichikeja, we will continue tomorrow. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing Vipassana meditation, by contemplating four foundations of mindfulness, Kaya Nupassana, Chitta Nupassana, Vedana Nupassana, and Dhamma Nupassana, by noting, rising, falling, sitting, stretching, bending, seeing, hearing, continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.